Al Jazeera's Hani Mahmoud joins us live from Gaza City. Hani, I know that you and your teams, of course, like all 2.3 million Palestinians in the Strip, are struggling to get by every day. Can you tell us at the moment where the next meal is coming from?
Well, Cyril, it's quite interesting. On our way to this broadcasting point, we walked by one of the displaced people who asked us several questions. And one of the comments that he made, other than the question, he said he believes that Israel has turned Gaza into a testing lab, not only by the bombs that it keeps dropping on civilians and displaced people, but also testing how far it can push people on when it comes to starvation and dehydration. The fact that we don't see for the past 62 days any drop of food or water or medicine allowed into the Gaza Strip is an indication that for real Gaza has turned into a testing lab by ongoing bombing campaign as well as the ongoing enforced dehydration and starvation. The UNRWA warned that the many trucks on the other side of the borders, and literally from the point where I'm standing to where the trucks are stationed, we're talking about 30 minutes, 40 minutes maximum driving just to get these trucks and help as many people as it can. But that did not happen, or is still not happening because of the ongoing blockade that is not allowing these 3,000 trucks carrying life-saving items, water, food, medical supplies, and other survival items much needed for people now who are on the brink of starvation and famine that is already quite visible. We also heard from one of the coordinators of this displacement camp on the right side from where I'm standing, telling us they received news from a local community kitchen that provided them with meals in the past days. They were telling them they're coming to the point where it would be very difficult to provide them with any meals as of today. So many of these people here, if not all of them, are going to go by this day without any food, particularly the children, the elderly, the vulnerable among them are not going to have their share of food or meals as of today. This repeats itself across the Gaza Strip from the southern part of the Strip, from the city of Khan Yunis and Rafah all the way to Beit Hanun city, where many of the local kitchens are shutting down. Lack of fuel as well is causing a problem, causing dehydration. Many of the wells here, whatever left of water reservoir here, operating on power generators are not working now because of the lack of fuel to run these power generators to get water so people can drink and use water for other purposes.
Hani, there have also been new Israeli attacks on Gaza. What was struck this time?
Well, once again, we're seeing attacks and explosions of rocking residential neighborhoods and blocks in the city of Khan Yunis and the central area of the Gaza Strip. And we're looking at least one woman and 6 of her children were critically injured. But as she was transferred to the hospital, she was killed. The attack happened at past midnight in Al-Amal neighborhood. In a separate attack in the city of Khan Yunis, they have a father, a mother, and their 2 children, 4 years and 2 years, were killed in an attack on a residential homes. And this is not the first time we're seeing either 2 generations of one family or 3 generations are killed in Israeli attacks. Meanwhile, in central area, in the city of Deir al-Balah, more attacks on tents, and we're looking at a woman and 5 children were killed, and many other reported with severe injuries from the nearby tents in the city of Deir al-Balah. But what's really concerning now is the aftermath of these attacks. We keep hearing of people dying right after like days or weeks of these attacks. Like, for example, as of yesterday, there are so many people who were who passed away due to their wounds and the inability of the hospitals to provide proper medical care. That's what doctors have been telling us. This is the silent death that's happening in the background that people don't know anything about, because people arrive to the hospital with severe injuries and burns but don't have enough proper medical care or medical supplies to save them.
Hani Mahmoud reporting from Gaza City. Thank you very much, Hani. Mahmoud Alsaqqa joins us now. Sir, you're Oxfam's food security lead in Gaza. You're also in Gaza City. What do you say to Palestinians who turn to you, turn to Oxfam, for food, for sustenance, for survival at this point?
Yeah, thank you for having me. To be honest, the current situation is catastrophic. Now we are in it has been the 63 days since the Israeli authorities imposed a complete blockade and all the supplies that are coming in. And we in Oxfam, as many other organizations, our food supplies are depleted. Now all the food supplies for us and other humanitarian actors are depleted. So no humanitarian or commercial goods or medical supplies entered since the 2nd of March. So our capacity to respond is rapidly declined. And we have a lot of supplies are stuck in Egypt and Jordan, and we cannot reach it. And in order to be able to support the people who are in desperate needs, I think we are in a very urgent need for unrestricted flows of supplies. So we are expecting that suffering of the people are continuous, and the situations are deteriorating nowadays, day by day. It's not on a daily basis. We are seeing how the humanitarian situation is deteriorating.
You mentioned you do have supplies, but they're in Egypt and they're in Jordan. Hani Mahmoud, our correspondent, was saying some of the trucks are just a 30-minute drive away. This is the definition of man-made starvation.
Exactly. This is the harmful situation that we are seeing. So we are used to have such a suffering and restrictions in getting the supplies in, but nowadays the situations are completely harmful. So we are unable to have any kind of supplies coming in. Now we are seeing how the people are suffering. When you are knowing that 85% of the population in Gaza are dependent on aid, and now we didn't have any food parcels. The stocks are still exist, and it's all fully depleted. And there's no any operational bakeries all over the Gaza Strip, and the only lifeline for food assistance, which is the community kitchen, is expected to last just few than 10 days. And as already said, we are expecting to see one after another closing and shutting down, what we are expecting in the coming days. Also, when we are seeing this rapid increase in the numbers of the Gaza children who are suffering from malnutrition and diseases. Just yesterday, a child who died because of the malnutrition, and we are expected this number to rapidly increase in the coming days.
Yeah, Mahmoud, I think this bears repeating. We know, of course, and everybody understands this on an intuitive level, that if people don't get enough food, at some point human beings die if they cannot eat. It is that simple. But as terrible as this is to say, there's an order in which this happens. And the most vulnerable, and usually that is the youngest, that means children, they are the ones who die first.
That's correct. And this is why we are repeatedly sounded the alarm and warning that this stage will lead to catastrophic and potentially irreversible consequences, especially for the vulnerable groups, the kids, the children, the elderly people, and the women. The whole world unfortunately is contributing or participating in starving the children in Gaza Strip without having any action towards that. They are all unfortunately complicit, but they have the choice to stay just passively seeing the horroring and the pictures and the images coming from Gaza, or they should have an action towards that. We, as our humanitarian organizations, we are doing whatever we can in order to support the people who are in need, but we need the support of the other international community in order to be able to do our mandate in that regards.
Mahmoud Alsaqqa, Oxfam's food security lead inside the Gaza Strip. Thank you very much for joining us on the Al Jazeera NewsHour.
Thank you.